You know, Washington was embarrassing enough. We really didn't need this one. But a stunt so stupid today, it's becoming impossible to believe that the Democrat Party actually has any real organic support. Today, Alex Padilla, a dim-witted first-term senator from California, decided to burst into the middle of Secretary Kristi Noem's press conference when she was live on national television, literally as she was speaking, and have himself a viral moment. Padilla knew full well he was going to be restrained. He knew exactly what he was doing. He is a mediocre, relatively unknown politician who was not wearing a suit, who burst into a room aggressively and started yelling at the Secretary of Homeland Security, barking like a random, unstable guy that just jumped in off the street, wearing street clothes, too. He's not wearing a suit. His full intention was to be accosted by security, as you can see here, and to go viral. We're going to play it out for you so you can enjoy the entire thing uninterrupted.
Sir, hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your
This Nimrod is on every cable channel tonight. He's doing an interview right now on MSNBC. Of course he is. You see him fighting with the guards, pushing back, shoving his way through. He knew he needed to find a way to get detained, because that was the key to getting on MSNBC tonight. After he was tackled and then verified to actually be a U.S. Senator, because he could have been lying, he could have been somebody there to kill Kristi Noem. After all of that, he actually still got a 15-minute meeting with the Secretary of Homeland Security. After such a ridiculous stunt, she still met with him. A credit to her, right? And then right after that meeting, what did he do? Oh, he ran outside, jumped on TV, and literally cried, portraying himself as the victim of an unconscionable assault by a fascist regime.
I was there peacefully. At one point, I had a question. And so I began to ask a question. I was almost immediately forcibly removed from the room. I was forced to the ground, and I was handcuffed.
I was just there to ask a question. So like any normal person, I burst into the room and ran straight towards the Homeland Security Secretary, screaming, because that's what normal people do when they have a question for somebody. They just burst into the room while they're on TV and start screaming. And then I was handcuffed. Ah! Losers. He's such a loser. From the LA Times, this is how the media is going to spin this, by the way. They're going to turn this into the greatest tragedy you've ever seen. LA Times, first they came for the immigrants, then they took down our Latino senator. This is how fake it is. We are living in the Twilight Zone. Democrats, of course, exploded, getting together to march for Padilla at the Capitol. Quote, "We're marching to Senator Thune's office. There must be accountability for the detainment of a U.S. senator. This is not normal." That's from Congressman Maxwell Frost, a guy who couldn't even get an apartment in Washington because his credit was so bad. So these are the kinds of people and the quality of people that are going to stir this up. And, of course, the media is going to play along perfectly. You're going to be hearing about this forever. Maxwell Frost couldn't wait to jump on the bandwagon for this publicity stunt, demanding accountability for the detainment of a senator. That's what he said. Just one problem. Even Padilla says he wasn't detained.
I was forced to the ground, and I was handcuffed. I was not arrested. I was not detained.
Yeah, not detained. Probably trying to avoid slandering the Department of Homeland Security with a blatant lie and the consequences that could come from that. He had to be a little bit careful there. This is so stupid. Listen to this.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California and throughout the country.
He cried the whole time. He put together a planned stunt and then cried. Again, the line, one of my favorite lines. Washington is Hollywood for ugly people. Politics is Hollywood for ugly people. It's so true. They're all just terrible actors. That's not how they treat a senator, he says. No, it's not. That is how they treat a lunatic in street clothes barging into a room during a televised news conference on national TV and hurling himself toward one of the most important people in the country. Again, no suit. He doesn't have a name tag that says Alex Padilla. He's only been in the Senate for 4 years. He's not very well known. He's a very mediocre person, a very mediocre senator. Would you recognize, I mean, how many there's 500 or so congressmen and senators? You know how they all look? Does anybody? Do the people that guard Nome have any idea? No. They don't know. He was just saying that. He could be a guy there to kill her. The stunts by this party are so embarrassing that it hurts. And the fake outrage over this planned event is even more painful.
A United States senator was manhandled, shoved to the ground, and cuffed. This is the stuff of dictatorship.
If you think it stops with one, you are inviting it for the all, because it does not. You are inviting it for every member of this body.
Donald Trump is making this nation look more and more like a fascist state.
I just saw something that sickened my stomach. The manhandling of a United States senator. We need immediate answers to what the hell went on.
It's so stupid. I don't know how many times I can say that to you. It's the most visceral feeling. It's pouring out of me. This is all that they have, this behavior. They're desperate to stop something Americans voted for. They're desperate to stop something they know shouldn't be stopped. They're fighting for something deeply unpopular right now, and that is wide open borders in a wealthy first world country, something that they know will decimate the nation they're fighting for. It will destroy the nation, and it will do it quickly. And that's what they're fighting for. The only way that they can fight this fight is with smoke and mirrors. They have to paint basic fundamental border and law enforcement as fascism. That's all they can do. And this today is going to be their latest example of what fascism does. Oh, they tackled a Latino senator. He just wanted to ask a question, and they tackled him and cuffed him to the ground because they're all fascists. That's what it is. You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.